Right, beautiful Sunday morning, not a cloud in the sky. Should get around 25 today. We've had good temperatures all week, been a little bit cooler towards the end of the week, but we started off with nearly 30 degrees for Monday, Tuesday. But yeah, it's going to get warm again next week, so we're in the middle where sort of early to mid 20s. But let's just do a quick update on the centre bed, mainly because the lilies are still looking good. We've dropped a couple lower down, but they're still looking quite nice and still smelling quite nice. So yeah, these are probably about 5 foot tall and looking good. The bees and that are loving them. But yeah, so the centre bed, this is a little bit of history for you. This was originally just going to be like a more, I won't say unusual palm bed, but uncommon palms, let's say, because rather than your standard sort of Fortunae or Camerops, that, you know, just something a little bit different. So these are all small specimens. So we've got the cycad, we have a luta here, or cycas, we have a luta sago palm. Flushed out early this year, around about May. So yeah, we've got a nice new flush on that, and there's still even some more down the centre, so I don't think I'll flush twice in 1 year, but we'll see. So that's doing quite well. I did have a lot of pink china tucked in here, which I thought I dug them all out, but they're still, like pink china do, they sort of move about, and yeah, there's still a few in here, but so you might see the odd one here and there, but I'm not really looking after them, not really watering them like I would do, because I'm not fussed. So as we go around, we'll just explain the bedding as well. So let's have a look. We've got the sago palm in front, then we've got another 6 palms behind. So this was the sort of one of the more experimental ones, the Livingstone Chilensis, which survives but never does much, so it's a survivor rather than a thriver. Yeah, it puts out a leaf, 2 leaves a year if you're lucky, then they get damaged over winter, then repeat again the next year. So that's not really, for being in the ground for 4 years, it's not really done much. But yeah, so between the palms themselves, we've got some impatience, this bedding, and the Rebecca I grew from seed. Got a pack of seeds, and yeah, there seems to be some variations in the Rebecca. I've never really grown it before. It's quite a nice sort of flower. So we've got some with a real dark inner, and then some that are just sort of more stripy. But yeah, so I probably won't put them in the centre bed. I won't expect them to get so tall, to be fair. I thought they may well be better in a sort of midsection in a border rather than the front, or where I've got them now anyway, so it's not really ideal. So little try, and yeah, we'll correct that for next year. So going on from the Livingstoner, we've got the Camerops cerifera, which has done quite well this year. It has pushed out quite a few new leaves, and I think you'll see which ones are newer because they're a lot more blue on them. So yeah, really quite a nice blue specimen that has started to push out a couple of offsets along the sides there. That's what they do, they're a cluster and palm. So that's done quite well. Of course, we've got the elephant ears here, which is the standard Escalente, Colocasia Escalente. Again, they stay in the ground over winter, come back every year, not a problem. Decent sized leaf, I suppose. They have yeah, for being left in the ground, they soon catch up to stuff that you start off earlier. We've got, it's in the shade at the moment, but does get a lot of sun. We've got a Boutia Chilensis. So again, these palms are all, just a reminder, 4 years old, from basically strap leaf seedlings. So this year it has started to go pinnate, so it's starting to open up a bit. I don't know, the light is a bit harsh, I know, but yeah, so it's starting to open up. Pushing out a new spear. Doing okay. One day that might look something substantial, but we're a few years off from that. So I did put some more elephant ears in here. So we've got little Jack's Giant there, doesn't seem to be doing much, and we've got a couple of alocasias, Patora and Macrorrhiza, doing okay. Again, with the cooler nights we get in the summer in the UK, they don't really put on a ton of growth, but they tick over nicely. So what is this? It's a big leaf. This is basically last year, October, Halloween, we bought a couple of little sort of ornamental pumpkins from the supermarket, you know, little cheap ones, sort of colourful miniature ones, and we kept the seeds, and so this is one of them. So I thought maybe being a dwarf pumpkin that the plant itself might be a bit smaller, but it is pretty much taken over the whole back of this bed now. So we have got, again, impatiens underneath, which are now getting drowned out. But so yeah, but we're going to leave that and see if we actually get any little fancy pumpkins off that. That's got some flowers on at the moment, so I won't be doing that again. But that is really just a gap filler, but start to take over. Right, so let's do the palms the other side. Let's just do a quick look at this. So we've got a little, I can't see my viewfinder, little toy giant there, which is one that we overwintered and I thought had died off, and it just started to come up in a greenhouse again, so I thought I'd plonk that in. Very small at the moment, but there's a little gap there, so I chucked it in. So we've got the Princeps, Trichicarpus Princeps, not hybrid, full, and that is really nice white, you know, pure white underside, looking really good. Nice stiff leaves, quite compact at the moment, still quite small, but looking rather nice. Again, we've got some distant beds, some coleus that grow from seed and whatnot. And let's not forget the burgundy pineapple lily in the middle there. So the leaves have greened up a bit. They were sort of true dark burgundy when they first come out, but I guess as the summer goes on and they sort of dull off to this sort of darker green, but the flowers are nice, and again the insects really seem to appreciate them. And let's get out my own shadow. So we've got the Boutia Odorata, so it's like the green form of the Boutia Odorata. This is just pure sort of nice, quite dark green. That's done quite well. That's ticked away, like I say, 4 years from a little strap leaf seedling. So they're fairly slow, but they're steady and they seem to be pretty hardy. And that's pushed out a couple of leaves this year, so that's doing okay as well. So coming round to the back, a couple of lily petals. Let's get rid of them. And we've got our small Boutia Odorata, again just a 2-leaf strapling seedling when I put it in 4 years later. This one always seems to want to go pinnate and then didn't quite finish off at the ends. But again, no harm in helping it along. You're not going to damage the leaf at all by doing that, and that'll just open that up. I haven't really been helping it along, sort of let nature take its course, but yeah, we've got several leaves that are just not really wanting to separate on their own, but yeah, might go through and do them all at some point, help it along, make it look a bit more tropical. Right, so that's just sort of an update on the palms in the centre bed, and obviously at the back of that we've got our cannas, the Cleopatra canna. So we've got a couple that are sort of heavy on the red flowers, which seem to last a bit longer than the yellows. They seem to fade out pretty quick. They come out really sort of a deep, stunning yellow, but they soon sort of fade out to a creamy yellow, but yeah, pretty nonetheless. So they're all doing quite nicely now. And we've even got, so originally we had like a heart-shaped centre bed, and then we had a round bed at the back and a gap in between, but obviously then I joint them together to make one big bed, and that's where the cannas are now. So the back portion of the bed is raised up a lot more, because we've got the power Boutia, which has done okay this year. We've opened up a new frond here, and still a couple more spears to open, so I'm sure they'll open by the end of summer, because we did have the problem, I mentioned it in the video I've done before, with the banana, obviously wind blowing and sort of breaking the fronds on the palm and making it look a bit scruffy. But hopefully with these new fronds coming out, that'll make it look a bit better. And then we've got a small dahlia and like dwarf cannas. These are sort of seeds that I've collected from my other dwarf cannas, so they're sort of hybridised with some of the other cannas I've got in the garden. So the original dwarf cannas I got were basically this sort of flower with the really quite a nice orange and yellow centre. But again, we've got several different types of canna. They do tend to sort of cross and hybridise. So I know this one, for instance, it's got sort of a rim to the leaf, and these come out as a red flower. And then we've got another one here which is pure yellow, and just the hint of some orange dots in there. So yeah, I mean, you never know what you're going to get when you grow a canna from seed, when you've got several different types of canna about. But yeah, quite nice. So yeah, that's just a sort of update of the palms in the centre bed and how they're doing. Like I say, that the smaller ones have all been in 4 years. It might even be the 5th year, I lose count. All from strap leaf, sort of really small plants. The Boutia I brought a couple of years ago and overwintered in as a potted specimen in the summer house the first year, just to give it a taste of the cold, because obviously this came from Spain, so it's not really getting a really cold prolonged winter like we'd get here. So yeah, you break it in gently first year, sort of give it some protection, but a taste of the winter, as it were. And then yeah, this winter, or the winter just gone, that's been in the ground. Obviously I had a sort of cover over the top of this originally, so over the winter, just to protect it from frosts and the rain. But this year I'm not sure what I'm going to do, whether I'm just going to leave it to the elements and see what happens. I've still not really made my mind up with that yet. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. So centre bed looking quite nice. Let's just do a quick look at the Boutia Odorata we brought 6-7 weeks ago. Seems to have settled in nicely. I know I've done a sort of brief update in a video a couple of weeks ago, but does seem to be doing rather well. When I brought it, I had one spear, or what looked like one spear, but obviously now it's sort of separated out. I can see it's sort of 3 individual spears, of one, which this one is starting to open up, and we've got a bigger one here, and we've got the smaller one here. So 3 spears, hopefully should all open up by the end of summer, and fill that out. One of my favourite palms I've got in the ground, just due to the colour and the form. They do vary a lot. The Boutias, obviously a lot of sort of hybridisation and whatnot, but yeah, so for me quite a nice specimen, nice arched leaves, nice, the colour's right, and yeah, just a good looking plant in general. Yeah, so that's settled in nicely. Right, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, we'll catch you on the next one.